The disappearance of Madalina Cojocari, a call for justice. In November 2022, 11-year-old Madalina Cojocari vanished from her home in Cornelius, North Carolina. Nearly 3 years later, her whereabouts remain unknown, and the search continues.
Breaking right now from Queen City News.
And first at 6, we begin with that breaking news. Police are at the home of Madalina Cojocari in Cornelius right now, and she's the 11-year-old girl who has been missing for over a month now. Good evening, I'm Brian Blakely. And this comes as Madalina Cojocari's mother and stepfather are still in jail tonight, facing charges for not filing a report. But new court documents show her mother had some concerns in the time leading up to Madalina's disappearance. Specifically, she says she believed her husband was putting her family in danger. All this information coming out as the FBI is now bringing a lot more attention to this case. I want to get right out to Queen City News anchor Derek Dellinger, live tonight at the home in Cornelius. And Derek, there are a lot of new developments in this case, but what's the latest and why police are out at Madalina's home right now?
Quite frankly, that is something we are still trying to figure out tonight. This has been a day of very significant developments. In fact, Cornelius police have been out here most of the day, going door to door, trying to talk to neighbors about some of the specifics. But just within the last hour, they have showed up here to the home of Madalina Cojocari. There's a number of police vehicles here, as well as a crime scene search van, rather. We've seen camera flashes coming up through the windows. A number of police officers are inside. As we mentioned, though, a day of significant developments. Not only is this going on, we also got our hands on court documents that show how complex this disappearance case has been, at least so far, for authorities.
This is video of Diana Cojocari's first appearance before a judge.
What do you want to do about a lawyer?
A public defender, ma'am.
Okay, I'll appoint you a public defender.
One of two people facing a heavy spotlight right now for what has been a dramatic week so far. Diana Cojocari went before a judge Tuesday, but Wednesday, we got the video of this appearance and our first look at the documents that were essentially being used to arrest and charge her for failing to file a report on her daughter's disappearance. Queen City News has reported on the case, the ins and the outs. Madalina Cojocari has been missing now for a month, last seen in public on November 21st, getting off a school bus. Her mother says she was last seen at the home on November 23rd, but the next morning, Thanksgiving Day, she was nowhere to be found. And her stepfather had already left for a trip to Michigan, returning 2 days later. Court documents now say that her mother told police that a backpack and clothes were missing, but the documents also say that Diana Cojocari told police of worries that she believed that her husband, quote, put her family in danger. Christopher Palmer is facing the same charge as his wife. Police say both were asking each other where Madalina went, and Diana, who is from the country of Moldova, had called family overseas who urged her to contact police, but she didn't for 3 weeks.
She has hindered this investigation. We have grave concerns that if she is released from custody, she will continue and more so hinder the investigation and the search for this girl.
The FBI has now called this their most wanted case of the week. After days of searching, there's still no sign of Madalina, all while a community at this point just wants to know where she is.
On November 21, 2022, Madalina was last seen getting off her school bus. She was wearing a white t-shirt, jeans, a jacket, and pink, purple, and white Adidas shoes. Despite being absent from school for several weeks, her mother, Diana Cojocari, did not report her missing until December 15, 2022. Diana Cojocari and her husband, Christopher Palmer, were arrested for failing to report a missing child. Diana pleaded guilty and served 520 days in jail before being released in May 2024. Christopher was sentenced to 30 months of supervised probation. In June 2024, Diana was named a suspect in Madalina's disappearance. Investigations revealed that Diana had financial dealings, including a $4,000 payment to a priest in Moldova and the burning of Madalina's belongings.
Good afternoon. I'm Captain Jennifer Thompson of the Cornelius Police Department. First, on behalf of our command staff, our town manager, and elected officials, I want to say thank you to all the agencies who are assisting us in our search for Madalina. Over the past 12 days, the Cornelius Police Department has led a massive investigation to find 11-year-old Madalina Cojocari. One of the challenges in this case, simply put, we were not notified she was gone, a delay of 3 weeks. School officials had repeatedly tried to contact Madalina's parents. Finally, on December 15th, Madalina's mother walked into school and said her daughter was missing. We immediately called in partners from across the state and from the FBI. Since that Thursday, nearly 2 weeks ago, hundreds of agents, detectives, analysts, and other employees surged. In cooperation with the District Attorney's Office, we arrested Madalina's mother, Diana Cojocari, and her stepfather, Christopher Palmer. Thankfully, the state of North Carolina has a law that makes it illegal if someone fails to report a missing child to law enforcement. Here are some of the specifics. Investigators have developed and followed nearly 250 leads spanning across state lines and across the globe. We have interviewed hundreds of people in North Carolina and other states, and again, across the globe. We went door to door to at least 245 homes, focusing on the Victoria Bay community where Madalina lives. We canvassed businesses and scoured through hours of surveillance video from all over the area. We also led land and water searches around Lake Cornelius as a precautionary measure. Investigators obtained multiple search warrants for Madalina's home to make sure we legally gathered each and every possible piece of evidence to find Madalina. We know everyone has a lot of questions. We also have questions and are doing everything we can with proper legal authority to get those answers. We know you understand us sharing investigative details could harm our efforts in finding Madalina. The Cornelius Police Department is so grateful for the tremendous outpouring of support. This is a serious case of a child whose parents clearly are not telling us everything they know. Please call us if you have eyewitness information. Thank you for your time and efforts to help us find Madalina.
Madalina is described as 4 feet 10 inches tall, weighing about 90 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. Her disappearance has left a community searching for answers and a family desperate for her safe return. A $25,000 reward is being offered for information that leads to locating Madalina or bringing those responsible to justice. We are seeking first-hand eyewitness information from anyone who may have seen this Toyota Prius or white female in the area between the dates of November 22, 2022 to December 15, 2022. Madalina was last seen wearing jeans, pink, purple and white Adidas shoes, and a white t-shirt and jacket. If you have any information concerning the whereabouts of Madalina Cojocari, please contact the Cornelius Police Department at 704-892-7773. You may also contact your local FBI office, the nearest American embassy or consulate, or you can submit a tip online at tips.fbi.gov. An appeal for information in Romanian, Moldovan.
Minor dispărut Madalina Cojocari. Poliția continuă să afle mai multă informație despre Madalina Cojocari, care nu a mai fost văzută de la 21 noiembrie 2022. Mama fetei, Diana Cojocari, este considerată un suspect în dispariția Madalinei. Dacă aveți ceva informații care ar putea ajuta detectivii, vă rugăm să contactați Departamentul de Poliție din Cornelius la 70489277773. Se oferă o răsplată de $25.000 pentru oricine oferă informații în acest caz.
My name is David Balcom, and I'm the Chief of Police for the Cornelius Police Department. Madalina's investigation began in December of 2022. Madalina was last seen getting off her school bus on November 21st, 2022. Today marks Madalina's 14th birthday. We want Madalina and this community to know that we are committed to solving this case. Our commitment has never wavered, and we will not stop until we find Madalina. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has created an age progression photograph that represents what Madalina may look like today. We are releasing that photograph in hopes that someone may recognize her. As always, we want to thank our partners with the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation and also the Federal Bureau of Investigation for all of their assistance. There's also a $25,000 reward being offered. If anyone has any information that may help us find Madalina and solve this case, please contact the Cornelius Police. Thank you.